Hi, welcome back. Today's tutorial is all about locking the knee. Very normal when you're new to not fully understand what you're trying to do, and especially not understand how to do what you don't even know what you're supposed to do. And so I just wanted to take time to explain a little bit more about how to understand how to apply this into your practice. So, when it comes to locking the knee, or we use that terminology in the tradition of Bikram practice, is I want you to first understand that this is a muscular concept. That even though you may think of locking out a joint, the idea of locking comes from terminology in the older yoga tradition of the bandhas. So, meaning that you're using energetic locks to stimulate the flow of energetic prana throughout the entire body, throughout your entire energetic body. So we don't have to get too far into that idea. I just wanted you to understand that that term of lock has more to do with creating a closure, or creating sort of like you would close the door so that we can direct flow into a specific area of the body. So when it comes to locking your knee, consider that this is a muscular idea. And so what I want to do for you is to help you kind of create a region of awareness versus just one tiny dot. I want you to create a whole network region of awareness so that you're able to create a more successful joint alignment and muscular engagement in your body. Okay, so I will start by explaining some concepts of the feet. This is really important because obviously we're doing a lot of this locking of the knee while we're in standing position. So think of your feet as a foundation and consider that we're trying to distribute body weight all over the foot evenly. Okay, we're going to get a little close here. I'm going to stick my foot in your face for a moment. Luckily, been using some good moisturizer. Okay, so first idea here is that we want to distribute the weight over the foot evenly. Think of the top of the foot, 2 points, base of the big toe, base of the little toe. And now think of the back side of your foot, 2 points, either side of your heel. So essentially we have 1, 2, 3, 4 points of balance to distribute the weight on the foot. Now, one of the first things I often get told from beginning students when they take up the Bikram practice is they say after the first 30 minutes, my feet are killing me. They feel like they're cramping. What do I do? What am I doing wrong? My first response to them is actually, you're doing everything right. This is building, the standing series that we start with in the Bikram practice is building endurance in the feet. So by learning how to distribute the body weight all over your feet evenly, you are strengthening the arches of your feet. You're building stability in your ankles. And then that strength and awareness is going to travel up the leg so that we can begin to create that mind-body connection and build better balance on one leg. Because how many of us walk in with good balance when we first start practicing? Very few. And so it's a skill or a set of skills that we develop and we get better at it over time. Okay, so when you're standing, go ahead and come to feet together position. And for a moment, keep your eyes open, please. Keep the knees relatively straight. Shift the weight forward. Shift the weight back. Whoa. Shift the weight side to side. You can do that a few more times on your own right now and just start to understand that this action of shifting the weight around is actually happening constantly when you're attempting to balance. And your body, your nervous system, and the proprioceptors that are throughout the body are helping you to calibrate your balance at any given moment. Because even a person who's balancing on one leg, doing all kinds of crazy stuff, and they can freeze and look like a statue, there are still micro adjustments constantly happening through the foot, ankle, knee, hip, core, shoulders, neck, eyes, nervous system, everything is beep, 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 trying to find that center position, constantly calibrating against the force of gravity. Okay? So now that you have awareness of your feet, I want to take you to the other part of our network, which is up here, hips, pelvis, core, glutes. Okay? So when you're standing and attempting to come into a locked leg position, we want to make sure that we're setting ourselves up for success above the knee. We just set up below the knee, right, with the feet. Now we're going to set up above the knee. So when you're standing in a neutral position, which is another tutorial, by the way, we want to make sure that we're not over rounded or arched in the back, that we're not hunched in the spine, but that we're lengthening up as we would in Tadasana, lengthening up through the crown of the head. So as you stand in a neutral position, and you're welcome to separate your feet to start, I find that's a little easier usually to do that. Make sure your feet are parallel to one another. Get the sensation that your tailbone is a little heavy, just a little. And awareness as you breathe all the way down into your lower belly that you're gently pulling up. Good. Now soften the knees as you're doing this. One more time. Gently lengthen tailbone. Gently draw up belly. Now from that awareness, you can even keep your fists like so. Lengthen up through the crown of the head. Now holding that neutral position, squeeze your thigh muscles until your knees feel straight. So for me, this is almost like putting on brakes that if I were to stand how I normally kind of want to slouch, if I then push my knees all the way back, I can almost go past perpendicular. I could go past straight until I'm almost hyperextended. So what I want to do is create neutral, and I'm not talking perfectly flat or tucked. I'm saying just a little bit neutral. Then from here, squeeze the thighs, lifting up the quadricep muscles so that we gently create the straight leg. Now, taking this a degree more complicated, you switch the weight over to one foot only, right? As we do in the balancing series. You distribute the weight all over the left foot, little toe, big toe, either sides of the heel. You draw up lower belly, gently lengthen a little bit tail, so you find that gentle squeeze right at the crease of your cheek where it meets the hamstring. Then you bring the opposite leg up, say for standing head to knee. We go to grab the foot without losing any of that awareness. Gentle drop of the tail, gentle lift of the lower belly, and finally squeezing the thigh. Body weight distributed all over the foot evenly. And so then we progress. Just standing here and learning how to do this, how long does that take? I don't know, depends on the person. For me, it took upwards of a year. You add another step. And while we're doing the next step, we've got to make sure to keep our little ABCs in line, right? Either side of the heel, big toe, little toe, engaging up thigh, gentle drop of the tailbone, squeeze of that cheek forward, heel forward. So you see how we're adding complexity on top of the foundations. We start with the foot, we bring our awareness to the pelvis, to the core, to the glutes, and then lock the knee in between. And so then you repeat this over and over, but in different scenarios, right? In different postures. And then by the time you get to the floor, you have a better shot that your nervous system is processing this information, digesting it, and then you can more easily apply it to other postures. So you see how this is just a collection of attempts to bring your awareness back to your body with all of these little points of physical alignment in the postures, of breathing awareness, of muscular engagement, etc., etc. So I hope this helps you to find greater success in locking your knee. and that you have an awesome practice taking some of this in mind. Have a great day.